I've been directly involved in developing assessment items for math and science, and I think we have a great team of people in Victory Productions, and pretty much everybody on the team has direct experience, research experience in science. So it's a very high level of understanding both science and math. And I think that even though the items that we develop are for K-12 level, so this is substantially lower than the expertise of people who develop them, I think this expertise is not lost, because trained scientific mind is definitely very, very useful in developing good items, because there are just so many variables that you have to keep in mind when you're developing an item. For example, when you align them to an NGSS standard, NGSS standards are not just one-dimensional. They have many dimensions to them, and the good item should be well aligned to all those things. And so it's a very difficult game to create an item that's somehow aligned to all of them and satisfies all those conditions. And so in this regard, I think that writing good assessment items is pretty much science.
I think that the new kinds of assessments that we're developing, particularly for the Common Core and for next generation science standards, are really emphasizing more not what content knowledge you have, but what thinking processes you possess. And I think that makes a difference, is that the students need not just to know information, but be able to directly apply that information to new settings and new scenarios, and also to make leaps between parts of information that they know and put it together in a new kind of whole.
And I would just add to that when we're talking about NGSS or Common Core math, we're not necessarily talking about multiple choice questions or like short response questions, because we're also developing assessment which is embedded into instruction. Right? It can be a very long piece which can take like 45 minutes or maybe even a whole day, where the student is learning a lot and just doing research online or maybe outside, collecting like data about weather or something like that. And so assessment is formative there. It's intertwined with learning. Nevertheless, it is aligned to particular NGSS or Common Core standards.
Well, I think that the challenge to creating high-level assessment items today in both science and math are really about presenting the question or the task in an engaging manner that students can get involved in. We talk about having a team. It's the creative writer who puts together the story of the question, and then it's the content person who formulates it and gets it into the shape that makes it the kind of item that it is, so that it's valid and it's accurate in terms of its portrayal of the content. What is it we want the assessment to do? And how does that assessment then drive our instruction? And so, thinking of Victory as that end-to-end solution provider is that we just don't think of it overwriting assessment items, but we look at the creation of assessment items and tasks through the lens of being an instructor, being a professional development provider, being an assessment expert. And so we look at it from curriculum right through to the view of the student. So it's multi-dimensional in terms of the way we go about creating the work that we do.